Hello, welcome back. My name is Michelle for anyone I haven't met. Today I plan to take you through a gentle mat yoga sequence. We will be doing some sitting and some standing, some balancing as well. But for all of the poses, or most of the poses, I'll be offering choices, options, and regardless of what I offer, just knowing that you don't have to do everything if something doesn't feel right in your body. Just taking a pause, taking a child's pose, any resting pose that feels right for you, and then just joining back in when you feel like you can. That's my goal here with gentle yoga. It's for all different kinds of people in all different situations. Gentle yoga for me might just mean moving my body on a day that I don't really have a ton of energy to do more than gentle. For some people, maybe recovering from an injury. For some people with aging bodies, just making sure we keep them moving without injuring or pushing ourselves too hard. There's tons of reasons that gentle yoga may be for you. So feel free to give it a try. I will be here with you, guiding you. And let's just get started. Okay, so let's sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes if you're comfortable closing your eyes, just starting to settle into this moment. Just being here with the body, seated. Just noticing anywhere you can make adjustments, maybe left to right, forward or back. Just kind of maybe even swaying side to side, finding that center for yourself. And again, sitting up nice and tall as though there's a string pulling up through the crown of the head. Tilt the chin slightly, relax shoulders down, and just be here now noticing the breath. Just start to pay attention where the breath is moving your body. So noticing the qualities of the breath, and all of the options here are perfectly welcome. We're just noticing if it's maybe deep down in the lower lungs or shallow upper toward the collarbones. Noticing if the breath is maybe shallow or deep, choppy or smooth, fast or slow. Just being aware here for a few more breaths. And now let's see if we can make it a little deeper. So if it is up high, or even if it feels like it's a little deeper, just trying to maybe puff the belly open a little bit on the inhale, just feeling like you're filling up a balloon as you inhale. And then exhale, contracting belly button back toward the spine. So a couple breaths like that, these deep diaphragmatic breaths are really great to engage our parasympathetic nervous system, letting our body know this is time to rest and relax. A nice full breath deep down into the belly on the inhale. And then squeezing out that stale air, contracting as you exhale. Really nice. A few more like this. Just stay soft in the face and shoulders if any tension's crept back in. Just inviting that to release. Finishing up here a few more breaths. And then an option now, if you want to start to bring in a little bit of movement, something subtle, maybe just bringing shoulders up toward the ears. And then relaxing as you exhale. So using that inhale, eyes can stay closed if that's comfortable, pulling ears up, shoulders up toward ears. Exhale, release back and down. Just a few more times, ears and shoulders come toward one another, really hugging shoulders up and then relaxing down. One more time, just like that. Big breath in and full breath out to release. And go ahead and take a few rolls of the shoulders now. So same thing here, breaths in can lift the shoulders up, exhales back and down, just making this movement a little more expansive. Maybe feeling the hands rubbing on the legs as they slide forward and back with the movement. Just embracing whatever you feel, noticing whatever you feel. It's a lot of what we're trying to do here is be present with our bodies, dropping down out of the thinking mind and just feeling our way through this practice. Just one or two more, finishing out movement in the shoulders. And when you're ready to relaxing shoulders back and down, hands rest on the lap. And we're going to take our chin toward our chest and then bring that right ear to the right shoulder, just getting that stretch over on that left side. Option to bring our right hand up by the ear, just giving a little assistance to the stretch. So we're not tugging or pulling, we're just adding a little bit of weight here to increase that stretch if you want it. And then another option to bring left hand out to the side, really reaching out and down, kind of where the floor meets the wall, reaching fingertips long toward that area, really relaxing into that length on the side of the left body, the left side of the neck, the arm, maybe even feeling it down into the wrists and the fingers here. One more big breath in. Full breath out. And then we'll release everything to center. Let's bring that chin down to the chest. Now we'll bring the left ear to left shoulder. So in this case, we're keeping the shoulders nice and heavy, bringing ear toward the shoulder. Option if you want to take left hand up by the ear now, just giving that gentle assist. And if you want to go even further, that option to take that right hand down and out, reaching long, finding that length all the way down that arm, through the fingers, reaching long. Final breath here, full breath in. And complete breath out. Really nice. Go ahead, releasing back to center. Option to take a few rolls over to one side around on the neck. So just an option. If that feels like too much, you can just take semicircles, tracing the collarbones with the chin. But if it feels good to go all the way around, just taking a few on one side and then feeling an opportunity to switch, repeating that on the other side. All the while relaxed in the face, the neck, the shoulders. Really nice. So go ahead and find stillness in the neck. Find a nice neutral gaze. Option to flutter eyes open now. If they were still closed, we're going to go ahead and breathe both hands up and overhead. Big breath in. As we exhale, left hand comes down to the mat. Our right hand stays reaching first up and then over. So reach over, keeping those sit bones planted down on the mat. So we don't want to lift up off of the sit bone. We want to stay grounded through the base and then just finding that stretch into the side body. Really nice. Inhale, back up. Both arms come nice and tall first. Then we'll drop down with that right arm. Left hand reaches up. And then exhale helps you fold over to the side. Nice lateral bends here, stretching the side body down now into the ribs, maybe into the hips. And then option to take a few at your own pace. So just gently side to side, taking your time here first to lengthen, then to lean. Inhales help you lift up tall. Exhales give you some more space to bend and fold and lower down. So go ahead, just a few more on each side, just feeling into side bodies, maybe getting a little deeper each time. Option to bend into that elbow as you come down, allowing a little more stretch, but again, making sure we're keeping sit bones down, just coming as much over as feels comfortable for you. Finishing up here, maybe you need one more to even out. Take what you need, really nice. Hands can fall back down to the lap. We're going to work on a twist now, gently just starting to look over our left shoulder. So as you look over your left shoulder, maybe the hand slides down toward the hip. Maybe the left hand comes behind you for a kickstand, giving you a little bit more support. Option to stay just like this, or to intensify, maybe taking that right hand, crossing it over the body, giving yourself a little bit of a place to push into on the outer edge of that left thigh. Inhaling, really lengthening through the crown of the head, and then exhale, twisting maybe a little bit more. So any amount here, any intensity, remember, don't overdo it. Stay nice and tall, twisting around that center line. Take one more full breath here. And then let that go completely, exhaling out, coming back through center. Same thing on the other side, nice gentle twist, starting to look over our right shoulder now. Option to stay just like this, maybe hand slides back on that right side, maybe that right hand comes behind you. Left hand has that option to stay right where it is, or use that right thigh for leverage, reaching up through the crown and then taking that twist maybe a little bit more. Relaxing shoulders, sitting tall, nice deep breath here, full breath in and complete breath out. And back to center. All right, so we are going to breathe our hands up overhead again. Maybe the palms come to touch. Maybe you start to look up toward the hands. See how that feels. Looking up, letting the head drop back any amount, letting it surrender. Option to maybe start to lean back, continuing into a little bit of a back bend if that feels okay for you. Full breath in here, reaching to whatever that maximum is for you in this pose. And then exhale, falling forward, hands come toward the ground in front of you. Let them slide forward. Let your head and neck just relax down. So maybe forearms come to the mat. Maybe you just drop the head. Maybe you're up on the palms. Whatever feels best for you here, just being here for another moment or so, relaxing into the pose. Full breath in and full breath out. So we'll go ahead and walk our hands back toward the body. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position now. So I'm going to turn over to the side. For our tabletop, we're going to be on all fours. I like to use a blanket under my knees. I know we don't need props in this practice, but I'm just showing this option if you have something, a firm blanket that you can use. Or some people have a knee pad or even a towel, just something to cushion the knees. If you have it, it can't hurt. Again, you don't need it. We're going to place that right under the knees. We're going to stack our joints. So we want to have our hips over the knees, our shoulders over the wrists, spreading our fingers really wide for support. We want to support those wrists. Maybe, if anything, the hands are just a little wider than the shoulders. We're going to start here with our cow and cat. So first we feel our spine is flat and straight. This is our tabletop. So we can maybe rest a drink on our back here on our table. But then from here, we're going to start to drop the belly button down, and we're going to lift tailbone up, lift chin up, shine our chest forward. This is our cow pose. We'll stay here for a moment, just feeling sensation here, feeling maybe the mat under our fingers as we press down, feeling the mat under the shins and the tops of the feet, everything pressing down into the mat that's touching, but we're lifting up through the chin, gazing upward. And then when you're ready to, we're going to exhale. We're going to start to tuck and round. So finding cat pose, really taking that back into a big arch as we pull the upper back up toward the ceiling, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone now. Our gaze is between the knees. Still pressing into the mat. Inhale, lifting back up, lowering that belly button down, finding that cow pose again. This is another great opportunity to close into the eyes if you'd like. So exhales bring you into cat, rounding the spine, pushing away from the mat, tucking everything inward. If the eyes are closed, just sensing into this feeling, letting the breath guide you. Inhales, lift, chin back up, tailbone lifts. Just continuing a few more rounds at your pace. If your body Feeling any organic or intuitive movements, maybe circling the hips. If anything feels right, if the neck needs a little movement, feel free to take that. We're just warming up the spine here. So go ahead and continue on. If you are taking some circles, just making sure you're taking a few in both directions. Keeping breath flowing. Inhales lift up through that chest. Exhales help us round, curl, tuck. And we'll just start to slow down that movement, starting to find stillness again. So starting to find that flat back. As we come into this position again, just checking in with our alignment, making sure those fingers are still nice and wide. We're going to take let's take our right foot back. So our right foot is going to come back. We're going to be on the ball of that foot, driving that heel down toward the ground, getting a stretch in the back of the leg. Feeling into that for a moment. And then option to stay here or maybe start to lift those toes up off of the mat. Maybe bringing that leg parallel to the mat, flexing toes down, letting our hips be level, letting that back stay flat. Our head and neck are a natural extension of the spine, so we're gazing toward the top of the mat, kind of down toward the top. And then maybe you feel sturdy here. Maybe you start to walk that left hand forward. So if left hand walks forward, you can keep those fingertips on the mat. If you're feeling really stable and you want to test that balance a little, maybe hovering fingers off, maybe even bringing that arm up to that parallel line, pointing the thumb up toward the ceiling, reaching fingers forward. At the same time, you press that back foot back toward the wall behind you. Nice big breath. One more big breath here. And then exhale, coming back down. We're going to spread our knees a little bit wider, taking a moment to pause as we come back in child's pose. So we're sinking hips back toward the heels, letting the hands reach forward, letting the head rest down onto the mat. If there's any strain here on your neck, you're always welcome to bring in a block. Again, we don't need props, but I like to give options with them. I do have another video about props that I'm planning to put up, so feel free to watch that if you want some options. Another option for the hands, maybe it doesn't feel great on your shoulders to reach out here. Maybe they wrap around, reaching for the sides of the feet, the ankles, or just resting alongside of you. Just take a few more breaths, maybe drawing that breath down into the belly here, finding that calm, finding that stillness, taking a moment just to reflect. And then when you feel ready to, we'll start to inhale our way back up to a tabletop. So if you've got that block, just placing it out of the way, coming back onto all fours, setting yourself up so that everything's level, especially the hips, just checking in. Hips are nice and level, stacked over the knees, hands spread wide. And we'll come into that other side. So this time left leg comes back. Coming onto the ball of the foot, pressing that heel down for a moment, just driving heel back, feeling that leg, and then starting to either stay or come up just a little bit, maybe a lot, maybe coming all the way parallel, but just make sure you're not leaning and lifting that hip too much. Again, we want to keep our hips nice and level. Toes are flexed, pointed down, getting your flat back, looking down in front of you. And then option here, if you want to walk that right hand forward, maybe even lifting up off of the mat, any amount, maybe coming to that parallel line, keeping that flat back, letting everything be nice and stable, reaching long, reach, reach, reach. One more big breath here. And then exhale, come back down, letting those hips fall back toward the heels. Knees can spread as wide as feels comfortable. Just coming back to a few breaths here, being in your rest. And if child's pose isn't comfortable for you, you can stay in tabletop. Another option is puppy pose, maybe just resting down the upper body, but keeping hips lifted. Just being in this moment right here as you are. Noticing any sensations that arise. And then we'll go ahead, inhale our way back through our tabletop. And this time we're going to take our left hand toward the center of the mat. So left hand is going to come more toward the center, still roughly stacking that wrist under the shoulder. We're going to inhale, reach up nice and tall through that right hand, coming into a twist. So if that's a lot, we could have hand on the hip, a hand behind, any amount of a twist that feels good. If you want to look up at the fingers, that will just intensify slightly. One more big breath here. And then as you exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to take that right hand between the left wrist and the knees. We're going to drop the temple on that right side and cheek down to the mat, getting a nice twist, getting a nice stretch in the shoulders, resting down. That left hand can either stay by the face for support, maybe reach out in front of you for some length, or maybe wrap around behind the back. Maybe even tucking it in somewhere between the rib cage and the thigh. Again, just being here, sensing into anything you feel, letting that breath be deep and calm. And then we'll start to unravel if you've taken the bind, getting that left hand close to the face again for support, gently pressing into the palm as you lift back up. Let's bring that right arm up for that twist one more time. Really nice. All right. And then we'll let that hand fall down to the mat. Stepping that right hand in the center now, we'll start to take our twist over to the left side as you peel open, opening that chest. Again, option to keep the arm down if that feels better, or look up toward the fingers. Big breath in, reaching through the top, and then exhaling, finding that twist. This time the left cheek and temple come down. Right hand can take position wherever it feels comfortable. Just checking in with the hips, just trying to level them off, pushing them back toward the heels. Still probably lifted, but we're just pressing back in that direction, finding lots of length. One more big breath here, just being in the pose, feeling everything you feel. And then go ahead and start to bring that right hand back toward the face, finding your way up and out. Maybe one more twist here. And then exhale, come back to the mat. So we are going to tuck our toes under, lifting up off the knees. So if you have that blanket, this is a good time to go ahead and just let that come out to the side. We're going to work into downward dog. So we're going to lift hips up and then back. We're driving heels back down toward the mat. No need to touch, just driving in that direction. Option to stay here, maybe pedaling out a few moments. If this is too intense, you can always walk forward, coming into forward fold. We'll meet you there in a moment. If you're in your downward dog, just taking any movements that feel right for you here, maybe shaking head, yes and no. And then when you feel complete here, go ahead and start to walk feet up toward hands. We'll all come into that forward fold. So for forward fold, feet can be as wide as you need them to be. Knees can be bent as much as you need them to be. If forward fold doesn't feel great, you can always come up and rest hands on thighs or just meet us in standing. But if you're comfortable here in this inversion, maybe just taking a few moments to sway side to side. Letting that upper body really relax and release down. Letting all that tension just melt out of the top of your head. And then we're going to bend our knees a lot. Everybody's going to take a big breath in. We're going to come up to stand. So as you come up nice and slow, eventually the hands are going to reach up overhead, bringing palms to touch. And then we'll exhale down through that center line. Let's take a few sun breaths just like that. Inhales, reach the hands up and over. And then exhales, bring that breath down through the center line. One more time, just like that. And we'll exhale, hands come down to the heart. Taking a pause here, maybe even closing the eyes. Just feeling yourself standing. Noticing if toes are pointed forward. Again, without looking down, just feeling into it, feeling under the soles of the feet, making sure your weight is balanced. You're pressing down firmly through all four corners of the feet. Maybe taking a little micro bend, make sure those knees aren't locked. Checking in with your posture. Are you as tall as you can be, or can you grow up out of the crown just a little bit taller? Also checking in on tension. Do you have tension in the shoulders that can be released? Anything you're carrying around the face or jaw? Just letting that go if you can. Really nice. So from here, we're going to step forward with our left foot and back with our right foot. So we're coming into a warrior one. So we're about 2 to 4 foot gap between the heels. So everybody's a little bit different here. We're going to bend into that front knee. We want that knee to come no further than the ankle. Our hips are square, our shoulders are square. That back foot's going to be on a little angle just to keep you steady here. And we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. So our shoulders are roughly over the hips. We're finding our warrior one here. And then we'll just take some gentle movement as we breathe, keeping lower body firm and stable. Inhaling, opening the arms up like a cactus. Maybe the chin starts to lift. Exhale, closing the elbows and palms together. So continue here a few breaths. Inhales open you up, making it as expansive as you'd like. Any amount of back bend here. And then as you exhale, coming inward, maybe starting to round your spine a little as we did in cat. So option to bring those cat-cow movements in here. Inhaling to open up. And then exhale, close back in. Let's just take one more here. Full breath in. And then complete breath out, bringing everything inward. We're going to inhale, fingertips up toward the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to turn our chest and hips toward that side, rotating out on that back foot. So now we're coming into warrior two. Our front knee is still bent over the ankle, no further. That knee is tracking over middle toes. We're going to bring our arms out to the sides. So checking in here, relaxing shoulders. Shoulders are roughly over those hips again. We're just going to be here for a few breaths. This time just lifting palms as we inhale. And then lowering palms back down toward the earth on the exhale. Just taking a few at your own pace. Inhales to lift. Exhales to lower. Keeping that lower body stable and steady. One more breath. And exhale, hands come down, bringing them in toward one another, hands to heart. We're going to spin forward and then just step out. So coming back to the top of your mat, let's take a few more of those sun breaths. Big breath in and full breath out. And these can also be as expansive as you'd like. So option to breathe your way up to the top, maybe even looking up at the hands. And as you exhale, option to bend into the knees, bringing the full body into it if you'd like. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down. Let's take just one more breath like that. Full breath in. And then exhale, hands come back to the heart. Really nice. So we're going to do the other side now. So this time that right foot will step forward, left foot back. Again, finding that little angle, roughly like a 45-degree angle on the back foot. Front knee is bent. And if it feels too much to stack it over the ankle, you can be kind of come off of it, but just don't go forward past the ankle. Our hips and shoulders are square to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up, feeling that warrior one. Nice tall spine, head again elongating toward the ceiling, growing tall here. And then big breath in, opening for those cactus arms. And then exhaling, closing inward. And again, make this your own. finding those full breaths, feeling your way open as much as feels comfortable. Exhale, closing, rounding, and tucking. A few more times just like this. Big breath in. And then full breath out. Let's take just one more cactus breath. Full breath in. And then bring those elbows and palms together. Next inhale, lifts the fingers up for length. Exhale, finding that warrior two. So it's really important we spin those back toes out. Everyone's going to find a little different placement, roughly a 90-degree angle to the front toes, but it can be turned in a little bit more for support. Really important that that front knee tracks over middle toes. So we don't want to cave in to get our hips open. If anything, our hips may still kind of face slightly toward the front in order to keep that knee tracking forward. We're going to take our hands out to a T shape, gaze over that front middle finger, relax shoulders, and be here for a few breaths. Simple inhales, lifting those palms up. And exhales, lowering back down. Couple more times, big breaths, but small movements. Taking your time, letting this be yours, taking as much breath as you need. One and then the next. Let's take a final round and finish on an exhale with those palms facing down. And when you're ready to, we'll bring our hands back to the heart. We'll spin forward and then step forward. Let's come into a few more sun breaths. Sun breaths alone can be a great practice if you just need a little break in your day, a little moment of mindfulness. Just coming into a few big sun breaths like this can feel really grounding. And last one, big breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. So now we're going to work on our balance. If you have a really thick mat, I always recommend stepping off if you have like a hard floor. Another thing, if you have socks on, you may want to take those off if they don't have grips. Just anything to help you balance a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and spread our feet about hip width apart. Again, finding that little micro bend in the knees. We don't want to lock out. Checking in with the soles of the feet, making sure that they are grounded, but lifting toes. So we don't want to be gripping with our toes. Can you lift the toes, maybe even spreading them wide apart, and then gently just resting them back down. So they're supporting you, but you're not using them to grip or clasp. So again, we're tall through the crown, relaxing shoulders, gently starting to bring all our weight over to that right foot. So we're going to come up on the ball of left foot, really grounding into that right foot, turning the heel of that left foot inward, drawing it toward the ankle. We're coming into our tree pose. So for tree pose, we're here. You can stay just like this, keeping those toes as a kickstand, hands pressing inward for stability. Take a moment to find a focal point, a drishti, something that is not moving out in front of you, maybe even down far out on the floor. And then if you're feeling really stable and you want more, maybe letting that foot start to work its way up the leg. Option to stay on the lower leg or the upper leg, just not pressing into the knee, because we're actually pressing inward with that foot at the same time as we're pressing back out through the leg. So option to stay here. Another option, if you'd like to maybe let the arms come upward. Again, just seeing where you're at today, meeting yourself wherever you are, taking any variation that feels right. This is just your time to practice. So if you need to come in and out, just being okay with that. Keeping the breath flowing. Let's take one more big breath here. Down into the belly, nice and grounded. And then exhale, coming back to the center, knee comes forward and just step it out. So I always like to take a moment, maybe shake it out, maybe roll the shoulders, take some twists side to side. Just noticing that first side, letting that come to an end. letting go of whatever happened over on that side. And then we'll start to find some stillness coming into the second side. So bringing our feet first again under the hips, starting off with that firm foundation, checking in, soles of the feet, knees, hips are level, hands can come to the heart, growing tall through the spine, relaxing shoulders. And then from here, we'll start to shift our weight left now, feeling that weight pour into the left side, but still staying tall. Coming up on those right toes, turning heel in toward that ankle. Knee turns out to the side, any amount that feels comfortable. Lifting that rib cage up out of the hips, staying tall. Staying right here is perfectly fine. Just working your balance, finding that focal point, working your breath, making sure it's flowing. You always want to hold the pose, but not the breath. So go ahead and take that. If you want more option to slide that leg up toward the knee, but again, not stopping on the knee. I really like my hands here pressing inwards, really grounding for me. Staying nice and tall, but yet relaxed. Always that option if you want to grow your branches, maybe even swaying in the wind if you really want to test your balance today. And just being where you are for one more full, deep, and mindful breath. And let that go. Staying as long as you want, but if you're ready to come out, just gently making your way back to 2 feet, taking any final movements that you need here. Maybe some twists, whenever you need a drink of water. We're going to make our way down now for our cool down. So when you're ready, let's take a big breath in. And this time as you exhale, we'll fold forward, coming into that forward fold. Next inhale, we'll halfway lift. So we're going to bring the crown of the head toward me, and then exhale, fold forward. Option to hang for another moment if that feels really right for you. Option to bend the knees as much as you need to. And then when you're ready, we will rest those hands down and start to come all the way back to a seat. So getting there, however, is comfortable for you. We're going to keep our knees bent. We're going to keep the soles of the feet on the mat, and we're just going to lay our upper body back onto the mat. So finding yourself here, we're going to walk the heels toward the sit bones as much as feels comfortable. We want to check in with our lower back. So if we're having some arching in the lower back, seeing if you can make any adjustments in your pelvis to kind of tilt, maybe tuck that tailbone, allowing the back to be flat with the mat. Our hands can be at the sides, probably most comfortable down at our sides. And then we'll go ahead and take our right leg, crossing that ankle over the left thigh. So we're coming into figure 4 or reclined pigeon. I'm going to make a video all about pigeon as well, because this can be a tricky one. But we'll start with our reclined pigeon, option to stay just like this, or if you want to start to bring that left foot off the ground, maybe working your way toward your body with that left thigh. Hands can come around, kind of hugging around the thigh, pulling it in toward you for a little more intensity if you'd like, or maybe even to the shin if you have more room there. A lot of it depends on the proportions of arms and legs and openness of your hips, so don't overdo it, taking whatever you need here. And you could always leave your foot just resting on the mat and just opening the knee up any amount gently. Let's just be here for a few more breaths, just feeling into that hip, seeing where we can relax. Especially around the face and the jaw, we tend to bring a lot of tension in. When we're working the hips, we tend to clench the jaw. So being mindful and aware of that here. Take our final mindful breath on this side, nice and deep, nice and full. And then exhale and release. Coming back to 2 feet. Let's have both knees into the chest for a moment. So both knees are in at the chest. Option to rock side to side. Just getting a little bit of movement in the lower back, a little massage. And then we'll drop that right foot down, crossing left ankle over, working that other side. So just coming into this side with a new perspective, knowing what worked on one side may not work on this side. So just feeling your way through it, maybe just gently opening the hip with the hand, or maybe starting to come off the foot and bring that leg in toward the body any amount. And lots of options. I have really long arms, so mine make it around my shin, but that doesn't work for everyone. So just being here with whatever works for you. This practice takes time. And we say practice makes progress, not perfection. So just working here for a few more breaths, just letting gravity and time do the work for you. All right, that final full and deep breath, nice, deep and down into those lower lungs, filling up completely. And then gently letting go. So let's go ahead and bring those knees back into the chest one more time. Maybe this time we spread the knees a little bit wider, finding that rocking, just seeing how that feels on the lower back. An option to even take some circles with the knees in one direction, and then a few in that other direction as well. And when you're ready, we'll drop our feet back down to the mat. We're going to widen our stance so that our feet come out toward the outer edges of the mat. We're going to take our arms out to the side. They can either be in a T or a cactus shape, whatever you have room for here. We're gently just going to windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. So option to bring your chin in that opposite direction of the knees if you want to take a little bit more of a twist into the upper body as well. And if you want to bring that breath in with the movement, inhales can help you come up through center. And exhales can help you lower down to one side. So go ahead, next time you wind up on one side, just staying there for a few breaths, just being here in this twist, trying to keep the shoulders grounded down. So we don't want to twist so much that we're lifting up out of the shoulders. We want to keep shoulders planted and grounded as much as possible, just letting the knees fall as much as feels comfortable here. Letting the belly be soft, letting those breaths just flow in and out naturally here. And staying as long as you'd like. When you're ready to, using an inhale to come back to center, and then exhaling, maybe staying on that second side for a few breaths. And if you want to keep that chin turned away from the knees, it can intensify if that feels right for you. Just being here again, breathing into this for a few moments. Eyes can close if that's comfortable, really coming into relaxation. And then inhaling your way back through center, letting the legs come long toward the top of the mat. Maybe the arms reach up and overhead, just taking a full body stretch, pointing those toes, reaching fingers up, up, up. Really nice. And then when you're ready, just letting everything go. Hands can come back to the sides. So we're going to take our shavasana. I'll give you a few minutes here. So option to stay just like this. If you have another position that feels more comfortable, you're welcome to adjust. If you have lower back pain, it feels nice to bend into the knees, maybe even let knees fall in toward one another. Just taking any position where you can be for just a few minutes. And then just relaxing into it, letting your whole body just start to feel heavy. So noticing anywhere that you may be able to relax a little bit more, maybe letting toes splay out to the sides if the legs are straight. Maybe using an exhale to let the shoulders sink deeper down into the mat. Eyes are closed if you're comfortable, but making sure they're not even closed too tightly, just letting the eyes be comfortable, letting all those muscles around the eyes relax. And the only movement you feel now is your breath, just gently flowing in and out of the body, just like a gentle wave, just moving in and out. Maybe noticing where in the body you feel this movement, maybe just focusing there, letting that be your anchor, just to relax, relaxing into your breath for just a few minutes, maybe about 2 minutes here. An option to stay in stillness if you just want to pause the video and stay as long as you'd like. But if you're ready to start finding some gentle movements again, maybe moving fingers and toes, be gently turning the chin side to side. Just starting to feel into any movements that feel right, making them slightly more expansive with time, maybe into the wrists or the ankles. And start to make our way up to a seat, option to roll over to one side first, maybe taking a breath or two there before gently making your way back up to seated. And I invite you to take one final breath with me. So if you're seated, inhaling arms up toward the ceiling one more time, bringing palms to touch. And then exhaling down through the center, bringing hands to the heart. Checking in with that tall spine, maybe tucking chin, slightly elongating back of the neck, relaxing the shoulders. Taking one final moment here for gratitude. Gratitude for making it to your mat today. Gratitude for your body for taking you through this flow. And gratitude for our community here for gathering and watching. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to guide you in this practice. I love seeing all of you coming on. I'm seeing some subscribers. So just so you know, I've been told if you subscribe, you get to get alerts when new videos come up. So just an option for you there. So thank you again. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Namaste.